Hey guys, Anthony Beckham here. Welcome to the channel where real estate is life. Today we're gonna be talking about the top 5 reasons why you probably don't want to become a real estate agent. I know we talk about the freedom, we talk about the money, we talk about the Teslas, and we make being a real estate agent look really fun, but there is a dark side of real estate, and there's a reason why 90% of new real estate agents fail within the first 5 years. So let's see if you have what it takes to become a real estate agent. Number 1, the cost to get started. So getting your real estate license isn't free. There's gonna be not only the tests that you have to take, but of course the study, which is gonna be 30 to 150 hours of studying, depending on what state you're in, $300 for the course, $75 every time you try to pass a test, which took me 4 tries. The RMLS sign up or your local MLS access, your activation fee. Basically, you're gonna get nickel and dime to death just to become a real estate agent and have the access as a real estate agent. I normally say that you're gonna want about $1,000 set aside to even just pay the costs of getting started. Number 2, get rich quick. So this is one of the common misconceptions, is that everybody thinks that real estate is a great way to get rich quick. And honestly, that's not really how it works. So while real estate may be a great way to make money, I mentioned that you're gonna need $1,000 to get started. That might not seem like that big of a deal. But the bigger part of that is that I want you to have at least 6 months reserves set aside, because that's how long on average it takes for a real estate agent to close their first deal. Real estate is a slow game. So even if you had a client, say your very first day, and you got them under contract, found a house for them, got an offer accepted, and you had your first pending sale, you probably wouldn't get paid for that for another 45 days. And of course, that's not how it works at all. You're gonna have a seller who wants to wait until next spring before they even list their property. You're gonna have a buyer that even though they're ready, maybe they aren't pre-approved yet. Maybe you've put in 3, 5, 10 offers for them and one hasn't been accepted yet. It takes time, and oftentimes it takes months. So even if you close your first deal before that 6-month period of time, consider yourself lucky, because it doesn't work that way for most. So make sure to have that 6 months reserves set aside. Number 3, the money. So while we're on the subject of money, we kind of need to go over another misconception, which is that all real estate agents are rich and make buco bucks. And unfortunately, that's just not true. I mean, yeah, sure. If we're talking about the top 10% of realtors that are selling 90% of the houses, yeah, they're doing pretty good. But if we're talking about the other 90% of realtors who are fighting over the remaining 10%, they're not doing quite as well. The NAR, the National Association of Realtors, actually released some numbers saying that agents with less than 2 years experience make an average of $8,330 a year, which means they would have made double or triple working full-time at their local McDonald's. I'll do a quick breakdown so that you can see how that happens. So in my market, the average price point is around $250,000. Some markets are gonna be more, some are gonna be a lot less, but that's what we'll use as our baseline as we do this breakdown. So if we think the average commission is right around 2.5% on average for whenever you sell a home or represent a buyer. So let's say that you have a $250,000 house, you're getting 2.5% commission. So if we take that $250,000 house and we times that by 0.025, which is our 2.5%, that leaves us with $6,250, which $6,250 doesn't sound all that bad. But we gotta split that pie up a few different ways. So if you're at any one of the big brokerages, there's always gonna be a franchise fee. And in my experience, that's typically around 6%. So go ahead and take that $6,250 and minus $375 from that off the top. That's gonna leave us with a commission of $5,875, which in my opinion, still isn't all that bad, but we're not done yet. Even if you're at a good brokerage that has a good split between you and the broker, they're probably gonna take another 30% on top of that. So I'm gonna take that 5,875 and I'm gonna times that by 0.7. That would be taking the 30% off for the broker. And that leaves us with $4,112.50. So a true $4,112.50 commission on average, really, that still doesn't sound too bad, but believe it or not, we're still not done just yet. Take that $4,112.50 and multiply that by 0.7 again, because you're gonna have at least 30% in taxes. And so if you were to compare it to your W-2 income, you end up with $2,878.75 after everything's said and done that you're actually keeping in your pocket. So, you know, even if you sold a few houses that first year, you're looking right about where the average for an agent that's under 2 years is, which was that $8,330 a year. Now, you can certainly do a lot better than that. I sold 23 houses my first year and ended up with over $100,000 net income. But that just isn't the truth for everybody, and it wouldn't be accurate to say that everybody's going to have that experience. But if you're willing to dedicate yourself to the craft, you're gonna work really hard, you're gonna subscribe to the channel, then you'll be well on your way to making that $100,000 your first year. But again, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. Number 4, time freedom. So this is another one of those misconceptions. You know, people are like, oh, I'm gonna be a real estate agent. I would really like to do that, not only for the money, but the freedom of time. Well, let me just tell you something. The truth of the matter is that it's not your time, it's your client's time. And guess what? They work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, so that means that you're gonna be showing houses every evening and on your precious weekends. And what happens if you don't go out and show them houses in the evenings or on the weekends? Well, they're gonna find another agent who will. And believe me, they won't hesitate. They'll end up calling somebody else because, especially in this market, they don't have time to wait around for Monday for you to show them houses. So as far as freedom of time, freedom of schedule, that is non-existent in the real estate business. Number 5, you're your own boss. So for a lot of people, they've never been their own boss. They've never ran a business. They've never had to be self-motivated. And let me tell you, it's a lot different whenever you don't have someone waiting for you to clock in. So a lot of new agents, they don't really know what they're supposed to be doing. So they sleep in, they take frequent breaks, hanging out at the water cooler, hanging out with all the other new agents, and just not really getting work done. And that's because as a real estate agent, you are your own boss, which sounds cool until you have to be the one who's self-motivated and actually getting used to that fact. And while you are a 1099 independent contractor and you don't have a normal boss or manager necessarily looking over your shoulder, you have to have clients to be able to sell houses. And just think of each and every one of those clients as a little boss bossing you around, telling you to go here, telling you to go there, making you answer that phone, answer their texts, answer their emails. You have a whole lot of bosses if you're a successful agent. And guess what? If you don't put in the work, if you don't treat them like that and follow their instruction or whatever they're asking for, you're not gonna have a whole lot of clients, and in turn, you're not gonna have a whole lot of money. And kind of as a bonus, if you've made it this far, something I can't really go without saying, or I wouldn't be doing this video any justice, I wouldn't be doing my job with this video, is that honestly, being a real estate agent is super stressful. Think about it like this. Like there's usually, what I say is there's like 3 different things that are probably the most stressful things you could go through in life. First, probably having a kid. Second, getting married. And third, buying a house. And guess who's on the other end of every one of those house sales? Us, as real estate agents. Just think of all the stress that a buyer or seller is going through. I mean, we have the inspector and he's saying that there's a foundation issue, and then the appraiser comes in and says that the appraisal came in low, and then the title report shows up an easement that goes through your front yard, and then the lender says, oh, well, the buyer lost his job and he can't even buy the house anyway. I mean, it's literally like, that is realistic. Like those things really happen every day in this business, and you're gonna have those difficult conversations with buyers and sellers who are emotionally involved in this purchase or sale. I'm pretty confident that this is probably the realest video on YouTube, really breaking this stuff down. Try to be as transparent as possible. But with all of that stuff being said, and with all seriousness and the different tone that this video has compared to most of our videos, is, you know, sure, it is stressful and there's all those things that we talked about today, but real estate really does have the potential to change your life. I mean, I got started just 4 years ago as a 21-year-old kid, made $100,000 my first year. I would have been happy making $30,000 and just replacing the income that I made at my $14 an hour job. I mean, I didn't even think that was a possibility, especially at such a young age. I mean, both my parents made about 30 grand a year. So for me to come out and make 100 grand that first year at 21 with no college education or anything, I think that that really says, you know, what is possible. And now here I'm looking back, you know, this last year I sold 100 homes, you know, I'm up to a multiple six-figure income. I'm driving the Tesla Model X that's been on my vision board here for the last couple of years. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything. I mean, I just got done telling you how not fun it can be sometimes, but it really is all worth it. The process is very rewarding. You know, there's gonna be those times where there's problems, there's gonna be deals that fall out, there is a lot of heartbreak, but whenever you are accomplishing that sale for someone who has a problem property, or whenever you're helping those first-time home buyers buy the home that they really want, the amount of gratitude and just the happiness and everything that goes along with that on the flip side of real estate, all the positive things, really do outweigh the bad and make it all worth it. But not everybody can handle the negative. I mean, I've sold several hundred homes now in my career, and I've done deals with new agents on the other side where things maybe didn't go the best and they quit real estate after that deal. And I'm thinking, man, you're quitting after that? Like, you have no idea like what I've had to deal with, and I felt like I handled all those issues for you because you were new and you're still quitting. So, I mean, not everybody has what it takes. Hopefully you do, and hopefully you find this video helpful. Don't forget to hit that like button, and of course, subscribe as we break down not only how to have success in your real estate business, but how to become a millionaire through real estate and real estate investing. So I appreciate you guys watching, love each and every one of you, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. See ya.